Lucas lived in a small apartment on the third floor of an old building. The walls were thin, the neighbors were loud, but inside his room, everything was quiet, maybe too quiet. He woke up every morning at 7 a.m., made the same instant coffee, and sat by the window to watch the city move. People walked fast, cars honked, life outside seemed full. His life, however, felt paused. Lucas was 32. He had no partner, no close friends, and no job for the last 8 months. He had moved to this country 3 years ago, hoping for a better life. But English was hard. Conversations were fast. Every time someone asked him something, he froze. Words disappeared. His confidence broke. He tried to study. Yes. He watched videos. He took notes. But learning alone felt cold, like reading words without meaning. What he really wanted was to connect, to speak, to feel part of something. But how? That morning, as the rain tapped the window, Lucas turned on his old laptop. The screen was cracked at the corner. He opened a language app he had downloaded months ago but never used. A simple message appeared. Start a real conversation today. Connect with a language partner. He hesitated. Was he ready? What if he made mistakes? What if they laughed? Still, his finger moved. He clicked yes. If you're learning English through emotional stories, subscribe to English Learn Day. Improve your listening, feel every word, and grow your vocabulary naturally. A list of names appeared, people from all over the world. One name caught his eye. Maya UK, her profile said. I love slow conversations, books, and quiet mornings. He smiled. Slow conversations. Maybe this could work. He sent the first message. Hi, I'm Lucas. I'm learning English. Is it okay if we talk? He closed the laptop fast, heart racing. Maybe she wouldn't answer. Maybe she would. But for the first time in weeks, he wasn't just watching life. He had reached out, and that was something. Lucas didn't touch the laptop for an hour. He made another coffee, walked in circles, checked his phone even though there were no notifications. He tried to act normal, but inside, he was nervous. He had never sent a message in English before. What if it was wrong? Finally, he sat down again and opened the screen. The app was still there, and something new appeared. Maya is typing. His heart jumped. Then her message appeared. Hi, Lucas. I'd love to talk. And don't worry, we can go slow. He stared at the words. Simple, kind, no corrections, no judgment. Just a real answer. He smiled and started typing again. Thank you. I want to learn. But sometimes I'm afraid, she replied. That's okay. Fear is part of learning. I still feel nervous when I try to speak Spanish, but we keep going, right? Lucas relaxed a little. This wasn't a test. It wasn't a classroom. It was just two people trying to understand each other. Slowly, they continued. Maya asked him where he was from. He told her about his city, the food, the weather. She told him about London, how the buses were red and the skies were often gray. They talked about tea, music, and favorite books. Each message was short but warm. After a while, Maya sent one more. Text. Talking to you feels peaceful. Thank you for reaching out. Lucas read it twice. Then again. No one had said something like that to him in a long time. He typed, thank you for answering ... today. I feel not alone. She replied with a heart emoji, and that was it. A first conversation. No pressure, no perfect grammar, just honesty. Lucas closed the laptop, but the quiet room felt different now. Not empty, just calm, as if the silence was finally friendly. 3 messages. That's all. But for Lucas, it was the beginning of something new. The next day, Lucas woke up feeling something different, not happy. Exactly, but light. He made coffee, opened the window, and looked at the pit sky. It was still gray, but it didn't feel so heavy. After breakfast, he turned on his laptop and opened the app again. Maya was online. She had sent another message. Good morning. Would you like to try something new today? Lucas typed back. Yes. What? She replied. Voice messages. Just short ones. It helps with pronunciation. And I promise not to laugh. Lucas hesitated. Writing was hard, but at least he had time to think. Voice? That meant mistakes, hesitation, and the sound of his own fear. But he remembered her smile, even if he had only imagined it. He took a deep breath. He pressed record. Hi, Maya. I hope you are good. I try to speak now. Thank you. He sent it. His heart raced. He closed his eyes and waited. Then came her reply. Her voice was soft and warm. Hi, Lucas. You did great, really. And thank you for being brave. I'm smiling right now. Lucas laughed a short, surprised laugh. He felt silly, but also proud. He sent another one. I like coffee, and I learn little every day. She answered again, slower this time, helping him repeat. I like coffee too. Every day a little more. That's how we grow. They sent 5 voice notes, then 10. He made mistakes. Yes. He forgot words. He mixed tenses. But she never corrected him with cold grammar. She corrected with kindness, with patience, with care. That night, Lucas listened to the recordings again. His own voice still sounded strange, but not wrong. It sounded like someone trying, someone learning, someone alive. And he whispered, in English, with no fear this time, I am not broken. I am learning. It was Sunday afternoon. Lucas was reading through his old English notes, trying to remember irregular verbs when his phone vibrated. It was a new message from Maya, but this one was different. It wasn't a hello. It wasn't about coffee or books. It started with, can I share something personal? Lucas paused. He wasn't sure what to say or write, but he typed, yes, of course. Then came a voice note. Her tone was softer than usual, slower, almost nervous. Sometimes I feel alone too, she said. People think just because you speak perfect English, your life is easy. But I have days when I can't leave my bed, days when I feel invisible. Lucas sat still. Her voice continued. Learning a language is hard, but living with sadness, that's another kind of learning. I just wanted to tell you, you're not the only one. He listened twice. For the first time, he saw Maya and Natsha just as a helper or teacher, but as a person, a real person, with fears, with pain, with silence inside her too. He recorded a reply. His voice shook, but he didn't stop. Thank you, Maya. I understand. I feel like this many days, alone, quiet, but now I talk with you and I feel less heavy. He sent it. and then wrote, "You help me more than English." She replied with a heart again. Then another message. "You help me too, Lucas. We're just two people in different countries trying not to give up. And that's something special." Lucas looked around his room. It was still small, still quiet, but now it felt different. The silence wasn't empty, it was shared. He opened his notebook and wrote, "English is not just a language. It's a way to say, I am here." Monday was cold and gray again. Lucas sat by the window, watching. People hurry with jackets and coffee cups. The world looked the same, but inside, he felt something new, something he couldn't name yet. He opened the app almost without thinking. Maya was there. "Good morning, Lucas. Can I ask you a question today?" He replied, "Yes, I'm ready." Then came her voicenote.com, gentle. "What would you do if you weren't afraid?" Lucas froze. He looked at the words, played the audio again. If you weren't afraid. He had never asked himself that. Not in Portuguese, not in English. What would he do? He looked around his small room, the empty notebook, the English books, the coffee cup half full. He took a breath and recorded his answer. I think I'd talk more, go outside more, maybe, find job, use English, try." She replied instantly, "That's a brave answer. Now I want you to do something for me." Lucas listened carefully. "Today, go to a cafe, just one, order something in English. One sentence. That's all. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Just speak. Just try. Can you do that?" He felt his chest tighten. Go outside. Speak. In public. Then he remembered her voice. "What would you do if you weren't afraid?" He wrote back, "Yes, I'll try." He put on his shoes, grabbed his small notebook, and walked 2 blocks to a quiet cafe. His hands were cold, his heart louder than the city. But when it was his turn, he looked up the woman behind the counter and said, with shaky words, "One coffee, please." She smiled. "Sure." One coffee. That was it. She didn't laugh. He didn't die. Lucas walked out holding the cup like a trophy. He sent a voice note to Maya. "I did. It won coffee. One sentence. I feel big." She answered with a short sentence. "You are." And in that moment, Lucas believed it. 1 week passed. Lucas had gone to the cafe 3 more times. Each time, the sentence was a little longer. "One coffee, please. One coffee and a muffin. How are you today?" Small things, but they felt big. Every evening, he and Maya exchanged voice notes. Sometimes they talked about grammar, sometimes about movies, sometimes they just said how they felt. There were mistakes, lots of them, but also laughs. Connection, real words between real people. Then, one night, Maya said something different. "I have to travel for work. I won't be online for a few days. But I want to say this before I go." Lucas waited, eyes on the screen. Heart, steady now. "You're not just learning English, Lucas. You're learning courage, and I'm proud of you." He smiled. It wasn't a perfect day. It wasn't a perfect life, but it was his. And finally, it was moving. He recorded one last message for her before sleeping. "Thank you, Maya. You changed something in me. I don't feel small anymore. I feel new." Then he sat on his bed and looked around his room, the window, the books, the silence, and then he opened his notebook and wrote, "First message. Hi." Second message. "Don't be afraid." Third message. You are brave. He read it out loud, slowly, with his accent and all his mistakes. But each word came from his heart. 3 messages, 3 simple moments. That was all it took. To begin again, Lucas turned off the light, closed his eyes, and whispered in English, not because he had to, but because now he can. Tomorrow, I speak again. And this time, he knew it wasn't just English, it was a new life. New emotional English stories uploaded every week. Subscribe to English Learn Time and learn English naturally through real emotions and real life.